Thank you, thank you. You better sip before you slip. You better sip before you slip now. Hey, let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome. This is Words with Ali. I'm your host, Ali Seavright. And this week's episode, I'm going to say some words on conflict, but more specifically, fighting.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back! Fight back!
Now, my whole philosophy with conflict, I kind of think back onto, like, it's gonna sound really nerdy, but like, if anyone a fan of Star Wars out there, the Mandalorian belief that conflict is necessary for growth. You see, the Mandalorians were, in the history of Star Wars, they were a race of people called the Tong, and they basically lived their lives like in a warrior way. Like, they fought and they gained honor through battle, like sort of like how you'd view Vikings. But I don't really connect with Vikings that much. Mandalorians are cooler, but for them, their life was derived around finding conflict and overcoming it, and devoting themselves to improvement in every facet of their lives. Well, most of it revolved around killing people, but like, it's still like that main feeling of like constant improvement that I always vibe with. And like, for me, like me personally, I avoid conflict as much as possible, which has been not beneficial for me. But I'm trying to engage with conflict more often and challenge myself more. But yeah, I feel like that's a human thing. We try to avoid, conflict, arguments, fighting. But sometimes shit happens. Sometimes a motherfucker steps on your shoe, they give you a look, and you're like, okay, what's up? What's up? What's up, motherfucker? What's up? Moink! Moink! And you just gotta moink a motherfucker sometimes, because they be testing you. It's like, why you testing me in the street? I'm walking, I'm trying to get my milk and my bread, and you out here stepping on my shoes. Disrespect. And that's what it comes down to. A lot of fighting comes down to like someone being disrespected. And then the other person not being able to handle it. They're like, hey, I'm just gonna throw hands. I can't argue. I don't have words. I can't resolve this peacefully. I'm just gonna punch you in your face. And like, I'm sure y'all heard about World Star Hip Hop, and they kind of changed over the years, but like, they used to be focused primarily on just like wild videos and shit. And like, a lot of the times, I'd be cruising the internet and I'd see some wild fights. Like, mans throwing uppercuts, someone getting drop kicked in the chest, someone getting uppercut in their nostrils, and breaking the whole orbital socket. Like, I don't know why it was so entertaining to watch this shit. And them videos are like, you know it when you're scrolling through on like YouTube or some shit. You see that like 144p quality video, you just know some heat's gonna happen. When a motherfucker's filming shit on a flip phone nowadays, that means some shit is about to fucking happen. We don't got no 1080p quality on this. The shit shaky. Motherfuckers yelling in the background. World Star! World Star! Hey, yo, World Star! Yeah, World Star! And like, motherfuckers just going crazy, losing their shit. And, usually a lot of these fights start from like very simple shit. Like, some dude said something, or maybe a dude looking at his girl or something. Like, it's just basic shit that could be solved with like some easy words. If someone just like, you know what, man, I made a mistake. I didn't know what I was thinking. I apologize. I apologize sincerely, and I hope you have a good day. You have a good day, sir. Top of the morning to you. Ta-da. And that's it. It can be solved like that, but sometimes motherfucker just get, mad ignorance. Like, the fuck you say about my mama's? Like, yeah, yo, mama got big feet, motherfucker. She look like Shaquille O'Neal cousin. My name's Shanae O'Neal. I wear size 17,000 shoes. I drink clouds and use flags as napkins. And sometimes I pick up white women and scale skyscrapers and yell into the air on weekends. And yeah, when mans get roasted like that, they just lose their shit. It's like, all right, I have no comeback for that. I'm just going to punch you in your mouth. I'm going to hit you with all the strength I have in my body. And honestly, if someone said that to me, I wouldn't. I'd laugh, but I'd probably snuff them too. I'm like, yo, damn. But looking back at history, we can see it like everywhere. Like there's certain etiquettes in different cultures and certain things that like if you did wrong, it caused like major fights. Fights that not only had people getting injured but like dying. Motherfuckers are getting killed over disrespect. Wars were fought over disrespect. This guy thinks my people are weak. He's saying, "Oh, I could just come in there and take whatever I want from you because you're weak." And like in order to show them, it's like, "Hey, I'm gonna start a fucking war. I'm gonna start a war because this motherfucker think I'm weak, but I ain't weak. I got hands." And when he show him he got hands, it's like, "Oh shit, yeah, he got hands. He good with it. He good with it. Hey, he got that shit. He got that. Yeah, hold that, hold that." And like, yo, motherfuckers died over trying to prove who's just tough. Like that's fucking wild. And like even now we glorify a lot of like we had the gladiator days back in like Roman like emperor time and that shit. I mean, we evolved a lot since then, but at the same time we haven't because you still have like UFC, boxing, and like kickboxing, all these sports. And let me tell you something. There's this YouTube channel. I started watching this with my brother like a couple years back now. And like we were watching it when they had like maybe 20,000 like 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. And it's called Street Beefs. So look up Street Beefs and like it has some of the most jankiest, it's like the jankiest organized fighting you can find. It's like backyard fighting but like more organized. And it's, it's so janky. These motherfuckers, they come up with the wildest fucking names, and they're fighting in like a dusty ass backyard with some ghetto like chain link fencing put up with some boards of wood, and a motherfucker just standing. And the ring is so small. It's like literally like 5 feet by 5 feet. Some of them, like they get bigger like as the years went on, but like. When I was first watching them, it's like this is a very small ring, and these motherfuckers are just throwing nothing but haymakers. Nothing but haymakers. And I don't know if they're being paid or they're just doing it for fun, but like it was fucking entertaining to watch. And is this thing was like organized by this guy. He's one of the fighters in it as well, Scarface. And he had some fights in there. He had hands. He had some hands. But like I just want to run down a list of some of these names because like I can't talk about street beefs without bringing up some of these names. So I'm gonna I shortened the list. It was so much longer than this. So let me start. You have the Iraqi assassin, Italian Tyson, Bobby Bipolar, Arabic Beef, Sandpaper, Knock 'em Down Brown, Homie the Clown, Chicken George, Country Hoodlum with a K, Country, the Milwaukee Animal, the Wicked Roofer, Slicey Ice England, the Beautiful Savage, Quack Attack, Corn Fed, Shooby Doo, Tater Salad, Dirty Jacob, Breeze Beef, Wonder Bread, Avatar Goku, Wild Whitey, Fire Chicken, Juggalo Rob, Dominican Destroyer, Cornflake, Thick Boy, SpongeBob, Scuba Steve, Big Daddy William, Ginger Ninja, Vanilla Gorilla, K-Pop, Hippie Disciple, Beer City Bandit, Florida Man, Daddy Fat Sacks, Blackie Chan. And there's so many more, but I want to highlight one specifically, Baby Hulk. Now this motherfucker, he's like 4 foot something, like probably 4'10" or something. He's short as shit, muscular. This dude is fucking strong, and he's fighting these dudes. He's always fighting these dudes that's at least like 2 feet taller than him, and he mashes them up. He mashes them up. This short dude, this fucking just muscular as shit. He looks like Kevin Hart. He looks like Kevin Hart if he went to prison. And he just fucks people up. And like, oh, I love this shit. And like, I try not to indulge in watching it too much because like it's one of those things like you watch one video and then you get sucked into watching like 10 in a row because it's that entertaining. The names and the way people are fighting. A lot of these guys don't have any experience fighting, but they still go into like this dusty ass makeshift ring and throw hands. Cause like that's a huge part of just like human nature. We like to challenge each other. We like fighting, even though we try to avoid it. We like it. And street beefs is a prime example. It's not nothing's choreographed. There's no script. There's barely any structure, to be honest. It's like it's like if someone held the camera properly in a world star hip hop fight. That's basically what it is. And yeah, we were watching it a couple years back. 20,000, maybe 50,000 subscribers. It's over 2.5 million right now. And that tells you something. People want to see other people fight. And that's just, something that comes down to the very basic nature of how we are. We fight for survival, we fight for resources, we fight to secure ourselves, to protect ourselves. And that's like a basic thing that we can't really escape no matter how sophisticated and advanced our cities become and our society is. We will always find a way to have conflict. And conflict, honestly, will always be entertaining. Like boxing, like how many people watched that fight between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor? That was a huge fight. Boxing and MMA meet in like this massive thing and like shit. I don't know anyone that hasn't seen it or at least heard about it. And like that's a big thing. It's like, bruh, millions of people like paid money to see this, and like each fighter at least got like 100 million, somewhere around there, maybe more. So it's like fuck. And while I honestly feel that conflict is necessary for everybody in everybody's life, there's certain conflict that I feel like will never be necessary. Like there's no need for bullying, and there's no need for just ignorant, just like scuffles to happen. It's like, and like I see it all the time. Like people just start arguments out of nowhere, and then like, bruh, like we can walk away from this. Like nothing's being gained from it. If we fight, if you win, nothing happens. If I win, nothing happens. It's just a pointless fight. And like I've been caught up in some of those, like like cause like going out drinking, sometimes you step on somebody's toe or you might bump somebody. I'm a big dude. I'm a bit clumsy. And sometimes I got into some arguments with people because like I might have spilled something or and like but I handled it. I usually try to diffuse the situation, calm the person down. It's like, hey man, I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just big. That's how I move, and shit. But sometimes there's like those dudes. They go out there and they'll see me, and they'll see me as a challenge for some reason. They'll look at me as like, this guy is big. His presence is large. I want to start beef with this guy for no fucking reason other than I'll look cool if I win. That's primarily it. And I've dealt with that a lot. I've avoided it for like the most part, but like sometimes a motherfucker can't be reasoned with. And like as in street beef say, like there's this song they have, any coward could pull the trigger, but it takes a real man to look another man in his eyes, punch him right in the face. And I fucking love that song from Street Beefs. Like, just watch Street Beefs. Just watch one. See if you like it. It's hilarious. It's fun. It's entertaining. And like people, so yeah, they get hurt, but like they try to mitigate the amount of injuries people get from that, which is not something I can say about real life. Because motherfuckers, they just fight you until like somebody's either unconscious, or police show up, or like someone gets really injured. And like for me, I even when I was angry and I got into a fight, I never really tried to go all out because I knew if I did, I could literally kill someone. I just always thought that like if I went all out, if I used my strength to my full extent, I could kill someone. And like trying to avoid conflict, I try my best, but sometimes a motherfucker just need to get snuffed in this motherfucker mouth. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. I told them thusly that, hey, you don't want these problems. You do not want these problems. My left hand's a problem. My right hand's a problem. And these motherfuckers, they think, oh, he's a big dude. He can't kick. I could kick. I could do a jump kick. I did martial arts for a couple years, and I learned some shit. Man's got kicks, front kicks, side kicks, crescent kicks, tornado kicks. I could do a tornado kick on a good day, though. But but I feel like, yeah, the best thing is to not put yourself in a situation where that's a possibility. And like sometimes, yeah, you go out, not nowadays, but like back before the panoramics going on, you go out and you be drinking, and there's always gonna be like a group of I call them woo boys because when you hear them, honestly, it's the worst sound I've ever heard. Woo! Yeah! Like, you always feel like someone's gonna get hurt every time you hear it. And it's usually around like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. you start hearing these woo boys. And like, they literally go out to get drunk and pick fights with people. They have nothing going on with their lives. They got nothing motivating them to be good people. They're just pieces of shit that go around starting shit with people. And like they'll go, hey man, what's up with your shirt, dude? Oh, you look like shit. Oh, hey Chad, look at this guy. He looks like a bitch. Oh yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, man, this guy's a piece of shit. Let's fight him. Hey, you want to fight, buddy? Yeah, I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, look at my polo shirt, dude. Yeah. Do you know what my dad does? Do you even know what my dad does, dude? Like those guys. Ah. They irk me so bad, and I have had so many encounters with them so many times, different times in my life. I avoided them for the most part, but like there's a couple times where man's like I was walking home one time when because I usually went to the beach like late at night to play my guitar and shit. It's peaceful, and like people be having beach parties, beach bonfire parties and shit. And like this was years ago, mind you. This wasn't recent. And like I had my guitar on my back, my case, and these guys, they pull up on me and they're like, "Hey man, like what's that on your back?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's my guitar." And he's like, "Oh, sweet, yo, play us a song." And I was like, no, man, I'm just heading home, man. I'm just walking." And like we're on this darkly lit. It's like there's no lights on this path on the beach, and there's houses adjacent to it, but like there's like they're blocked by a railway and like trees and shit, so you can't really hear shit too well. And like they started grabbing at me and they're pulling on me and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? And then like they knocked off my guitar and they start like hitting me. I'm like, what the fuck's happening? And like I was fucking terrified. Cause there's no one around me. There's these three dudes and I'm just fucking scared. I don't like fighting. I hate fighting. It's shitty. It's unnecessary shit. And what they were doing that night was very unnecessary. And so I went into survival mode. I was screaming. I was like screaming for help. And like they kept hitting me. One guy had a stick. He hit me in like the back. And then like something in me snapped. I was like, bloop. And I was like, yep, fuck this. Grabbed my guitar, started swinging that motherfucker. Whoop, whap, swoops, binks. And like I hit another dude. He fell. And then like my guitar was it was shattered. It was broken as fuck. And then I just started punching the other dude, and the other guy was like trying to run away. And like it was a very stressful and terrible night of my life. And I'll never forget it. I walk home, I'm carrying my fucking broken guitar in the case, and I'm like crying and I'm feeling terrible. I'm like, shit, this fucking sucks. Why wouldn't they just leave me alone? Like, what did I even do to provoke that? I was just walking home and I said I didn't want to play my guitar to like some complete random assholes, and they took offense to it. And now they have probably permanent scars from that day. And like literally from that guitar I made my first homemade guitar. And I played it for years. I'd go out gigging with it cuz I didn't have money to replace my guitar. And like and like it sounded all right. I did my best. It was called Unlabored Flawlessness. If you ever played Ninja Gaiden and you fully upgraded the wooden sword, you know what that is. And yeah, it was a beautiful thing created from a tragic moment. And like I always think back on that, like, because it was very transformative. Because I could have dwelled on it and like been bitter and like seen it as a memento, as like, oh, this is a terrible moment in my life, and like I've just like survived it. But instead, I turned it into something beautiful. I said like, hey, let me repurpose this guitar. Let me repurpose that moment in my life, that feeling, and turn it into something beautiful. And I created beautiful music, played in a band with it, and yeah, it was, yeah, some good shit. And I feel like conflict is just that. You can either dwell on the conflict and let it eat away at you and erode your being, or you could use it as a stepping stone to boost yourself up, to rise up from where you are low to a higher place, a new vantage point, even. Stepping higher, you could see further. And yeah, and that's, yeah, yeah, it's some beautiful shit, yo. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. You guys take care. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the conflict, but don't enjoy it to the point where it's causing other people pain. Enjoy it as the challenge that it is. Overcome it, become better, move forward, and bless your life. Bing bong. All right, y'all. Peace.